Hello, this is Paul. I am teaching a series on spreadsheets with OpenOffice.com, and I teach this over at the First Church of the Brethren located in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I am teaching a group of people that are brand new on the computer, that don't know how to use their machines. So this is a very grassroots, low-level introduction. This is the third part of the first lesson that I gave, and it's getting to know how where everything is with this program and how it relates to the other programs in OpenOffice. Okay, so where we left off on the last segment, we were talking about spreadsheets, and now we're going to proceed to be able to realize that once we have these spreadsheets down there, we don't have to leave the name down there all as it is as sheet 1, 2, and 3. We can rename them to be anything that we want it to be more meaningful to what the purpose of our project is. It is a good habit to rename these sheets, because when you get into a larger series and might be going on for a long period of time, it gets more confusing to remember what sheet 1, 2, and 3 are. However, if you change the names, it would be easier to remember with a single word that could be put in there to be more meaningful. So get into the habit. The way we do this, we right click, that is the right button on the mouse, to bring up a menu and be able to realize that we are able to do several things. And one that we are looking at on there is that we're going to look at the third one down. It says rename the sheet, and that is not renaming the entire file. That is just doing that one sheet. Okay? So out of that, we have another portion on the bottom there. There's a little bar going across the center there that as we realize the letters going across the top, it only goes up to L on my display here. However, if I move that bar across, I'm able to realize more sectors going across. And if we look at that, we will see that it will go all the way up to Z, and then go to AA, AB, and on up to AAA, AA, B, AAC, etc., etc. Okay, and it'll keep on going up. Likewise, on the when we scroll down, we can add as many rows. It'll take on as thousands of rows as we add the numbers going down the right. So that is an interesting concept to realize. Now, next on this is that we have a series of buttons on the side here, that when there is more sheets on your workbook, that you will be able to scroll over to some that are not on display and be able to reach any number of worksheets that you have developed in your project. Now remind you that you have more than one worksheet on a single project. Take, for example, we talked about using the bank statement. You can copy data, for example, if you're using it for your balance sheet, from one sheet to the next, and we can name it for each month, name of the month. And so for 1 year, we would have actually 12 different sheets on the bottom to tab from one to the other. However, you can see that they will not fit there if you properly name them for each month. However, the use of these buttons over here, you can scroll front and back and be able to select the ones that you decide. And we'll be getting more into that later on. So this is a slide bar, and a very little bar in between the two, between the large bar here that slides the sheets from side to side, and we can adjust this little, looks like a separator, to be able to adjust that size and be able to see more of the worksheets that we are working with, and reduce the size of this bar. However, when you do that, it will change the balance of everything, that this bar will be a smaller size and still be able to scroll across as you did before. So don't be afraid to play around with that and see what it does. One more thing is that we are going to go and sheets can be put in any order by holding down the left button and of the mouse and sliding the selected sheet to the new location. What we're saying here is, if you hold down, notice down here now what was before, I had sheet 1, 2, and 3 in order, and by holding down that right button and just dragging the order of the sheets, I moved 3 in between 1 and 2. I made the new location to be 1, 3, 2. All the data would move over to that order, and what can be realized on that, when you're working with a current sheet, you can move it over to be the first one, so it's easy to locate. Okay, so with this on the bottom, we have one more thing to cover, and then we'll take a break. And that is, on the bottom we have a status bar that tells us where we're at. For example, we have 3 sheets, and we're on sheet number 2 presently. So they're going by the order that they are and not by the names. Okay? Next, in the center, everything is on default operation. That's how the program is set up to operate. It is in that order. Now over here we have standard buttons, and this sum will be showing you what the sum of a series of numbers. If they are highlighted, that sum will be updated, and we'll be talking about that more often. And on over here we have a slide bar to adjust the size of what the appearance of your main display is, to make it larger or smaller for whatever you are working on and make it easier to see. Once you get this concept, you can replay it as often as you want, and then we will move on.